Joe Biden, that is the one that makes so many gaffes and mistakes within his so-called administration. But in this case, it's not him. Oh, don't get me wrong. He's made many gaffes so far, especially with a cringe tweet, which is worth its own video. However, this video is about not him, but Kamala Harris. Because on Wednesday, a report by Politico was released to the public that showed many cases, many people calling her and the office or and the environment that she is working in, or at least the staff is working in, toxic. I'm looking at I'm going to be reading from the New York Post article on my phone right here to just give you an explanation. Quote, according to Politico, Florida's... sorry. Okay, my bad. A bombshell Politico report published Wednesday described Vice President Kamala Harris, or supposed Vice President, as chaotic with a tense and at times dour atmosphere, a place where, as one source memorably put it, people feel treated like shit. The report, which cited nearly 24 current and former VP aides, administration officials and associates of Harris and President Biden, pointed the finger at Harris herself for the dysfunction, as well as Tina Flournoy, a longtime Democratic operative who works as Harris's chief of staff and gatekeeper. Over 20 counts of this. 20 counts of this just among her own staff. And this is the person who happens to be second in line for succession to the presidency. If and when Joe Biden kicks the bucket or resigns, which I doubt is going to happen, or Congress decides to invoke the 25th Amendment. This doesn't give me hope right here. Now continue on. People are thrown under the bus from the very top. There are short fuses and it's an abusive environment, said the same source who claims staffers are treated like shit. It's not a healthy environment and people often feel mistreated. Sources quoted by Politico describe an insular environment marked by a failure to get on the same page for big moments, like the announcement of Harris's trip last week to the U.S.-Mexico border. On that occasion, the VP's underlings, including those responsible for making travel arrangements, reportedly were blindsided and left scrambling to make sure everything was in order. Jeez. Again, this is someone who, when Joe Biden dies or the 25th Amendment is invoked or he resigns, takes over the presidency. This is the same person who may lead our nation, and it's looking like that possibility. I have to say this, and I'm pretty sure I can speak for a good portion of Americans. I have no confidence in her to lead this nation. How can she lead this nation if she cannot handle her staff properly as our supposed vice president? Unbelievable. And even then, with her trip to the border, which honestly wasn't a real trip since she visited El Paso, which happens to have from what I understand, from actually pretty good control over the border situation. It's the places like in Arizona or in California that tend to have the problem of illegal immigration that's exploding. That has been exploding under this administration. That I forgot to put the quotes there. And this is our VP, our supposed VP. Jeez, she can't even get a trip right to our own border. It took her 4 months before she did that, and I'm willing to believe that the only reason why she decided to visit El Paso was because Donald Trump, the former president, I really do hope that he does get reinstalled or something like that, what was basically threatening to go to the border before her. Not good optics, considering that the former president would have more control over that situation than our current leaders. And there's a reason why people have negative feelings toward this administration. People wonder why. Anyway, I better be continuing on. According to Politico, Florida's efforts to protect Harris from flack have led to her dismissing or ignoring staff ideas, refusing to delegate responsibility, unnecessarily prolonged decisions, and blaming those under her for negative outcomes. This is not good leadership skills. Not just from Kamala Harris, but from Florida. Protecting her from flack. You kind of need to hear some criticism in order to help I don't know, improve the work environment. Just in the work environment with the staff. Forget everything like the border crisis or unemployment, that sort of thing. Those are definitely big problems, but I'm focusing on the staff. If you are going to have any possibility to improve, to show leadership, you need to hear criticism, even the negative kind. But no, not only has Kamala Harris not heard any of this, she has her own chief of staff protecting her from that. This only causes a bad environment. And it's not something you want. So complete is Florida's control over who sees and speaks with Harris. The report states that even a friend of Harris who tried to connect the vice president with a top Democratic donor for a meeting waited weeks for a response before being told Harris was too busy. Weeks. And this is with a top Democratic donor. I'm sorry. How is it that this woman is our VP again? Oh wait, that's right. That the 2020 election was a fair election. Honk honk, as 6X Amber did it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this one instance shows that she's not very well liked within, at the very least, the leadership of her party. And continue on with a little bit, a few more paragraphs or two. This is someone who has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions even, for your boss, and you're just blowing them off. The Harris friend asked Politico. Next time Kamala wants them for something, it's like, hey, I couldn't even get a call back from your chief of staff. The report calls the final days of Harris aboard of 2020 presidential campaign, which was launched amid great fanfare. Doubtful. Only to flame out a month before the Iowa caucus. 2% of support. And she dropped out before the first caucus. Suddenly, she's our VP. She can't even do good with her staff. Oh, and this gets worse, because apparently this actually occurred, the bad staff management occurred within her own presidential campaign. Days before Harris dropped out, the New York Times printed a resignation letter from the campaign's state operations director that claimed, "This is my third presidential campaign, and I've never seen an organization treat its staff so poorly." Simon Sanders, a Harris senior advisor and chief spokesperson, decried Politico's anonymous sources as cowards for airing their complaints in the media. Oh, jeez. It's just stop. Harris, whoever is Harris, I would suggest, if you're trying to become a pretty good VP, if you're going to try to do that, I suggest you give your talk to your chief of staff and try to change up the environment. Get some criticism from your people and work from that. Don't go mathing them off and calling them cowards. The Biden administration is already under a lot of flack as it is. I don't think it needs more. But hey, who am I? Who am I to talk down? I'm just a regular YouTuber, BitChute, a movie maker, or whatever that you like to call me, and I'm just offering my own opinion. But like I said in the very beginning, how can I expect Kamala Harris to lead this nation potentially if she cannot lead her own staff within her own VP office? I can't. I have absolutely no faith that she will do good as president if and when Joe Biden potentially is kicked out or dies within the office. And honestly, it's looking like that's going to be a possibility. My name is Noah Meehan on The Arc Truth. Please post your comments down below, like this video, subscribe, and share with friends. Also, if you have any issues regarding my videos, such as how I speak, or how I frame stuff, or anything of that nature, please post them in the comments section down below, or directly message me. Thank you.